Welcome to the Ben Shapiro Show, where facts don't care about your feelings. And today, we have a guest whose hair definitely doesn't care about societal norms. Former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson. Boris, welcome to the show.
Ben, it's absolutely spiffing to be here, old chap. Quite the ballyhoo. I've heard about this program. Ready to dive into the Brexit conundrum, eh?
Absolutely, Boris. Let's get right into it. Let's say, hypothetically, the EU was a club, and the UK decided the membership fee was too steep for the benefits received. Was this a fair assessment?
Your analogy is most apt. Imagine, if you will, a club where the rules were made by the members, but somehow you find the club's regulations creeping into how you butter your toast in the morning. We felt it was time to reassess our membership, to ensure our toast remained sovereign and buttered on our terms. The benefits of the club, whilst numerous, were entangled with a loss of autonomy that Britons felt uncomfortable with. It was a matter of principle as well as economics.
Now let's explore the economics a bit more. Critics of Brexit argue that leaving the EU was an act of economic self-harm, citing increased trade barriers and a decrease in foreign investment. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that these critiques are valid. How does the UK plan to mitigate these challenges?
Ben, in every great venture, there are hurdles. Yes, there have been challenges, but let's not forget the opportunities. Free from the constraints of EU bureaucracy, we are forging new trade agreements, rekindling old alliances, and embracing the spirit of global Britain. It's like rebuilding the British Empire, but with free trade agreements instead of, well, the other stuff. Our economy is resilient, adaptive, and innovative. We're not just mitigating challenges, we're turning them into springboards.
Let's turn our attention to a particularly thorny issue, namely the Northern Ireland Protocol. Critics argue this has effectively created a border in the Irish Sea, disrupting trade between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK. Let's say, hypothetically, that this undermines the Union. How do you respond to those concerns?
Ben, the Northern Ireland Protocol indeed, a subject as complex as a Rubik's Cube being solved in the dark. The intention was noble, to protect the Good Friday Agreement and peace by avoiding a hard border on the island of Ireland. However, I concede, it has introduced challenges, like a sea border that many did not foresee. It's a bit like having your cake and eating it, only to find the cake is half on one plate and half on another, separated by a body of water.
So, Boris, with these challenges acknowledged, how does your government plan to address the concerns of businesses and individuals affected by this protocol? What's the pathway forward?
Our goal, Ben, is to ensure that the protocol is as unobtrusive as possible. We're engaging in negotiations with the EU to iron out these issues, aiming for a solution that minimizes checks and bureaucracy, thereby ensuring the free flow of goods without compromising the integrity of the UK market. It's akin to threading a needle while wearing boxing gloves, but we are committed to finding a solution that works for all parties involved.
Now, regarding Scotland and the increased calls for independence post-Brexit, let's say, hypothetically, Scotland decides to leave the UK to rejoin the EU. How does this affect your vision of a United Kingdom?
Scotland's desire to remain in the EU is understandable, but the union we share transcends economic membership. It's built on centuries of shared history, culture, and values. Independence, while a democratic right, carries its own raft of complexities and challenges, not least regarding currency, defense, and international relations. Our focus is on demonstrating the value of our union, ensuring it works for all. The breakup of the UK is not a future we envision. Rather, we see a robust, dynamic, united kingdom standing together.
Lastly, Boris, reflecting on your tenure as Prime Minister during one of the most tumultuous periods in recent British history, what would you say was your biggest learning or takeaway from the Brexit experience?
Ben, leading Britain through Brexit was akin to steering a ship through a tempest. The experience was humbling exhilarating, and above all, educational. My biggest takeaway is the indomitable spirit of the British people. Their resilience, determination, and unwavering belief in the notion of sovereignty and self-determination. Brexit was not just a political maneuver. It was a statement of who we are as a nation. And if I may add, maintaining a sense of humor and a robust mop of hair through it all is crucial.
Boris Johnson, thank you for this enlightening conversation. To our listeners, remember, in the marketplace of ideas, may the best ones win. Until next time.
Thank you, Ben. Remember, when life gives you lemons, make a gin and tonic, preferably with a slice of cucumber. Cheerio.
Big shout out to the one and only Lance Kinsey, factually the best Comp Gov teacher in all of Washington and Ohio,